Hey everyone, welcome back to the React.js course. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the Flexbox, and if you find this interesting, let's get started right away.
So in this video, we'll be exploring about the Flexbox inside of React. So we'll be talking about the styling part, how to exactly understand Flexbox. So talking about Flexbox, Flexbox is a one-dimensional layout module that is used to arrange certain items inside rows or columns. So we'll be understanding Flexbox and then we'll be solving different challenges on this website that is Flexbox Froggy. I guess there are 24 levels and we'll be solving each one of them until 22. You guys can solve the remaining levels, that is the last two levels. So we'll go and understand each of the levels and we'll try to understand the Flexbox in a better way so that we can become perfect and very efficient in Flexbox. Okay, so firstly let's understand what we need to do in each of the level inside this website. Okay, so pretty much we have given a frog. Okay, and you need to place that frog correctly on the lily pad that is towards the right. That is about level 1. So yeah, we can just go through the description which says welcome to Flexbox Froggy. This is a game where you help Froggy and friends by writing CSS code, and yeah, guide this frog to the lily pad on the right by using the justify content property. So as you all know, inside of CSS there is a property called as justify content. So inside level 1, what we need to do is we need to just place this frog on the correct position, that is on the lily pad, by making use of these properties. So we have pretty much 5 properties, that is flex start, flex end, center, a space between, and then space around. So we need to use justify content and then we have to make this work. Okay, so the first one, they've done it for us. So let's write justify content, that is flex end. They've given the answer for that. That is about the first challenge. So let's write justify content flex end. Yeah, so there you go. We have placed the frog on the correct lily pad, okay, in the correct position. So this is about the challenge. So as the levels keeps on increasing, the difficulty level of course keeps on going higher. So that's it about this website. So let's try to solve all the challenges and then let's understand the flexbox. Okay, so let's go to the next challenge. Yeah, so this is level 2. So over here we have given they've given 2 frogs and then 2 lily pads. So let's try to position it on the correct lily pads. Okay, even with the color too, that is the green frog should go on the green lily pad and the yellow frog should go on the yellow lily pad. Okay, so they've asked us to use justify content again to help these frogs get to the lily pads. Remember that this CSS property aligns items horizontally and accepts the following values. So let's write justify content because we need to use that. Yeah, so let's guess which can we use to make it work. Okay, I think it should be center. So let's give that a try. Yeah, so there you go, it is center. So that was about level number 2. So now let's move on to the next level and try it out. Okay, yeah, so now this is level number 3. Again we have given 3 frogs and then 3 lily pads. So let's try placing them on the correct lily pads with the color. Okay, so help all 3 frogs find the lily pads using the justify content. This time the lily pads have lots of space all around them. So over here they've given a small hint to us, that is space all around, which means space around. So I think that's going to be the answer, right? So let's use justify content and let's make it space around. Okay, so that was about level number 3. We have placed the frogs correctly on the lily pads even by matching the color. Okay, so let's move on to the next level, that is level number 4. Yeah, so this is level number 4. Again we have given again they've given 3 frogs and then 3 lily pads. So let's try them place let's place them according to the color on the lily pad. Okay, so now the lily pads on the edges have drifted to the shore, as you can see, increasing the space between them. So use justify content. So again now they've given the hint that is space between. So if you just give space between, there will be equal spaces among all the frogs and the position of each frog will be correctly on the lily pad. Okay, so let's access justify content. So it's going to be space between, right? So let's write that. Yeah, so that was about level number 4. We have placed the frogs correctly on the lily pads with their matching colors. All right, so now let's move on to the next level, that is level number 5. Yeah, so this is level number 5. So pretty much we have 3 frogs at the top again, and we have 3 frogs at the bottom. I mean 3 lily pads at the bottom. again we should place them on the correct lily pad. So let's read the description once. So now use align items to help the frogs get to the bottom of the pond. The CSS property align items vertically and accepts the following value. So pretty much in the previous levels we had to use justify content. Now we'll be making use of align items, and the properties over here are flex start and then flex end, center, baseline, and stretch. Okay, so let us try by using align items, and let's try with flex start. So I think this is the default value, nothing is going to happen. It is add flex start. Let us try center. It's going to the center of the screen, right? But we want the frogs to come at the end part of the screen, right? So for that it's going to be flex end. Yeah, so there you go. That was about level number 5. We have placed the correct frogs at the bottom by making use of align items and flex end property. So let's move on to the next level, that is level number 6, right? Okay, so this is level number 6. So let's read the description first. So lead the frog to the center of the pond using a combination of justify content and align items. So in the previous levels, as you have noticed, we had used justify content in some levels and then align items in the previous one. So this level is about using both the properties. So let's go do that. Okay, so first let's write align items. So this centers the thing vertically. Yeah, that is a frog vertically. So that was about align item. So next we need to use justify content, right? So let's write justify content. Again, since we need to center it to the center of the screen, let's just write center. So there you go, we have placed the frog correctly on the pond by making use of these two properties, that is align items and then justify content center. So now let's move on to the level number 7. Okay, so again we have they have given us 3 frogs and then 3 lily pads. Okay, so over here too we need to use two properties, that is justify content and then align items. So as you can see, currently they are not aligned to the lily pads. Okay, that is the frog. So let's align it properly. So for that let's use a justify content. Let's write center. Okay, center is not correctly aligned. Let's use space around. Yeah, I think space around is a perfect one because the green frog is correctly aligned in line with the green lily pad, and the yellow frog is correctly aligned in line with the yellow lily pad, and similarly the red one is aligned properly. Okay, that is vertically with the red color lily pad. So now let us place it on the lily pad by making use of align items, right? So let's write align items. So let's give center first. It's going to come to the center of the screen. So we want it on the lily pad. So for that, flex end is going to be the correct one because flex start is default and then flex end. Yeah, by writing flex end, the frogs have correctly come to the correct position. So now let's move on to the next level, that is level number 8. Okay, so let's read the description first. So the frogs need to go get in the same order as the lily pads using flex direction. So this CSS property defines the direction items are placed in the container and accepts the following values, that is row reverse, column, and then column reverse. So in the previous levels we had explored about the justify content and align items. So now in this level, that is from level number 8, we are going to explore about flex direction. So let's access flex direction and then let's place them correctly. So let's write flex direction. Okay, so we have pretty much 4 options. Okay, let's write row. Yeah, so initially it is in row, that is by default. Okay, that is in default. So now let's try column once. Of course it's going to come to the column, so it has to be row reverse, right? So row reverse. Yeah, there you go, row reverse is working fine. So initially if you do row reverse, all the children are gonna come from the reverse direction from the start. That is about row reverse, and row is default from start to end. Okay, and also we have similarly for column and then column reverse, which is just the opposite of row and row reverse. So that was about level number 8. So now let's move on to the next level, that is 9. Yeah, so let's read the description again. So help the frogs find the column of lily pads using flex direction again. So this CSS property defines, that was same thing. So in the previous level we had used a flex direction of row. So here let's use again flex direction. So as you can see, the lily pads are aligned in a column fashion, but the frogs are in a row fashion. So let's align them properly so that it goes to the correct direction. So flex direction, it's gonna be yeah, column, of course. So if you do row reverse over here, that is the last child will become the first. Okay, let's give that a try once just to understand this better. So row reverse, so there you go. So red comes first and then green comes at the last. Okay, so but we want it in the correct position, so let's write column. So there you go. So initially it was in a row that is green, yellow, and then red in this direction. So we wanted inside a column fashion. So just write column for that by making use of the flex direction property. So that was it about level number 9. So let's move on to the next level, right? Okay, so this is level number 10. So help the frogs get to their own lily pads. Although they seem close, it will take both flex direction and justify content to get them there. So here if you notice, the frogs are already on the lily pad, but the problem is that the green frog is on the red lily pad, the yellow one is in the correct direction, but the yeah, again the orange, I mean the red frog is on the green lily pad. So we need to interchange that into the correct positions such that even the color of the frog matches the color of the lily pad. Okay, so that was a rule they've given at the start of the uh, level. Okay, so for that let us make use of, yeah, flex direction first. Yeah, so as you can see, we have firstly green, yellow, and then red. But in the lily pads, we have red, yellow, and then green. So we need to change that order. So for that, we're gonna do row reverse, right? So let's do that. Row reverse. Yeah, so now as you can see, we have the correct order, that is red, yellow, green for both the lily pads as well as the, what do you say, the frogs, right? So next let's write justify content. Yeah, so let's give flex end, right? There you go. That was about level number 10. We have placed the frogs correctly on the lily pad, okay, by making use of these two properties. So now let's move on to the next level, that is number 11. So yeah, let's read the description first. So help the frogs find the lily pads using flex direction and justify content. Notice that when the flex direction is a column, justify content changes to the vertical and align items to the horizontal. Okay, so let's place them according to the correct position, right? So firstly, let's make use of, yeah, justify content. Let's give flex start. It is default by flex start, so nothing is gonna change. Let's try out center. Yeah, so center is coming to the center of the screen. Let's try flex end. All right, so now let us align items. Let's use that. Okay, we should use, okay, flex direction, my bad, sorry. So flex direction, of course it's going to be column because the all the lily pads are in column fashion, so it's going to be column. So there you go. So column and then flex end, that was the property we used to fix the position property, position problem, right? So now let's move on to the next level, that is level number 12. All right, so help the frogs find the lily pads using flex direction and then justify content. So let's again make use of flex direction first. Yeah, so one thing which you can notice on towards the right part is, again, we have the lily pads in the order that is red color, yellow, and then green, whereas the frogs are in green, yellow, and then what do you say, green, yellow, and then red again. Okay, so for that we need to change the order of it, right? Because we need to match it with the color as well as the position of the frog on the lily pad. So for that, since the lily pads are in column fashion, we are going to make use of column and then we're going to say reverse. Okay, so now we have made it column reverse. Now now the alignment is correct. That is, firstly we have red color and then red color, yellow, yellow, and then green, green. Green is already placed correctly. So now we are going to place the remaining frogs by making use of justify content, right? So let's make use of that. So justify content, let's give space around once. Okay, not working. Let's give space between. So there you go, we have made it correctly. Okay, we have placed the frogs on the correct lily pads with the color matching. So now let's move on to the next level, that is level number 13. Okay guys, so this is level number 13. So help the frogs find the lily pads using flex direction, justify content, and then align items. Okay, all right. So firstly, let us make use of justify content. Okay, let's give it center. Yeah, so now as you can see, everything is correctly aligned. That is, the frogs are correctly aligned with the lily pads, but there is one problem, that is the colors are not matching. That is, firstly we have red, the green frog, and the yellow frog, and then the red frog. But over here at the bottom, we have the red lily pad first, and then the yellow, and after that we have green. So for that we need to change the order as we have done earlier. So let's make use of flex direction. Okay, so we're going to access row, and we're going to say row reverse. There you go. So by doing row reverse, the property has changed, and then we have aligned it correctly. That is, the red frog is aligned with the red lily pad in vertical direction in the correct position, and the yellow one has been aligned with the yellow lily pad, whereas and the green has been aligned with the green lily pad. That is vertically correct. So now we need to just place it on the lily pad. For that we'll be making use of align items. So align item center, it's going to come to the center of the screen, but we do not want that. We want it on the lily pad. So for that it's going to be flex end. Alright, so that was about level number 13. We have placed the frogs on the correct lily pads with the color matching. So now let's move on to the next level again, that is level number 14. Okay guys, so this is level number 14. I think we need to use a new property over here. So let's read the description first. So sometimes reversing the row or column order of a container is not enough. In these cases, we can apply the order property to individual items. So by default, items have a value of 0, but we can use this property to also set to a positive or negative integer value, that is from -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so we have to use the order property to reorder the frogs according to the lily pad. So again, we have the green, yellow, and then red frogs, whereas the second and third are not matching. Okay, so for that we'll be making use of the order property, and then we'll be fixing that error. So let's target the order one, and then let's give it a value of 1. There you go. So we have placed it correctly by making use of the order property. Let's move on to the next level. That was it about level number 14. Now let's go to the level number 15. Okay, so again we need to use the order property. So use the order property to send the red frog to his lily pad. Okay, so let us firstly target order. So in the previous level, if we have checked it out, they have given the order value ranges from -2 to 0. So now let's try giving a negative value for the red property. Okay, but that is the red selector. So it is working fine by making use of -1. We have placed the red color frog on the red lily pad in the correct position. That was it about level number 15. So now let's move on to the next level. Okay, so now we are in the level 16. So another property you can apply to individual items is align self. So this property accepts the same values as align items and its value for the specific item. Okay, so we need to we need to place this yellow, that is a singular property, a singular frog, to the yellow lily pad. Okay, that's the reason they've targeted the yellow selector. So we need to make use of align self, right? So let's make use of that. So align self, let's target the center ones. Yeah, it's going to come to the center. So as I've already told, the property accepts the same values as align items. So we can use flex start, flex end, stretch, and then align items of center. Okay, center, and then flex end. Okay, so we're going to use flex end. Yeah, there you go. We're making use of flex end. We have positioned the yellow frog on the correct lily pad. Okay, because yellow selector has been selected. So now let's move on to the next level, that is number 17. Okay, so we need to combine order and then align self to help the frogs to their destinations. Okay, so currently yellow is over here on the green lily pad, and then the green lily pads are in free space, which should come over here, and the yellow one should come at the bottom, right? So for that, let's make use of order first. Let's give it a positive value. Let's say 1. All right, now it's working fine. So now it's pretty simple by making use of align self. Firstly, let's make it center. It's going to come to the center of the screen. That's not what we wanted. We can use flex start, flex end, because this align self has similar properties to align items. Okay, so we're going to make use of flex end, right? Yeah, there you go. So that was about level number 17. We have placed the frogs correctly on the lily pad. So now let's move on to the next level, number 18, right? So yeah, let's go. Yeah, the frogs are all squeezed onto a single row of lily pads. Spread them out using the flex wrap property, which accepts the following values. No wrap, okay, every item is fit to a single line, wrap, and then wrap reverse. So what exactly is happening is, as I've told, all the frogs are being squeezed and they're not taking up the exact space as they wanted to. Okay, so we need to place the frogs correctly, and they should take the correct number of space, and then they should be on the correct lily pad, right? So for that, they have given us a new property, that is flex wrap. So let's make use of that. And the properties for flex wrap is no wrap and then wrap reverse. I think no wrap is default, so that's the reason they're squeezed. So wrap is, let's see what it does, right? It's going to give it space, and after it has taken the entire space, all the frogs are going to come down to these two lily pads at the bottom over here. So let's write flex wrap, and then let's write wrap. So there you go. So the wrap property allows you to spread with equal space, and then allows you to give some room and the container, so that we can correctly space out the children. Okay, so wrap reverse is the exact opposite. It's going to give you from the last to first. Okay, so let's try that out. So there you go. That was about wrap reverse. Okay, but we want it to be wrap, right? So that was it about level number 18. So let's move on to the next level. That is level 19. Okay, so again, helpless army of frogs form 3 orderly columns using a combination of flex direction and then flex wrap, right? So in the previous level, everything was similar. That is, we need to use flex wrap itself. Here also we need to use flex wrap, but one difference is that here the lily pads are in a column fashion. Okay, in the previous level it was in a row fashion. So firstly, let's align it in a column. For that, let's write flex wrap. It's going to be a wrap. Okay, and flex direction, it's going to be column. So there you go. So there's just one difference between the first and the 18th and the 19th level that I've already told. That is, it was in a column fashion, and this is in a column fashion, and the previous one was in a row fashion. So that's the reason we had to give this property, that is flex direction of column. So now let's move on to the next level, that is number 20. Okay, so this is altogether a new property, I guess. So yeah, let's read the description first. So the two properties of flex direction and flex wrap are used so often together that the shorthand property flex flow was created to combine them. So this shorthand property accepts the value of the two properties separated by a space. For example, you can use flex flow row wrap, okay, to set rows and wrap them. So try using flex flow to repeat the previous level. Okay, so this level is pretty much the same as the previous level, but we need to use flex flow. So as they have told, flex flow is the combination of flex wrap and then flex wrap and then flex direction, which is separated by a single space. So the first one is row, that is subjected to flex direction, and the second one is wrap, that is subjected to flex wrap. So let's try using flex flow to just make it in the correct position. So it's going to be pretty similar. So in the previous level, if you would have remembered, we had given flex direction of column. That is the first thing inside flex flow, and the second thing we had given wrap for flex wrap. Okay, So let's give the same thing. So it's going to be column and then wrap, right? Yeah. So that was it about level number 20. We have used a new property, that is flex flow, which is a combination of these two properties, this one and this one, flex direction and flex flow, flex direction and flex wrap. So let's move on to the next level, that is level number 21. Okay. So the frogs are spread all over the pond, but the lily pads are bunched at the top. You can use align content to set how multiple lines are spaced apart from each other. So this property takes the following values, that is flex start, flex end, center, space between, space around, and then stretch. So this can be confusing, but align content determines spacing between lines, while align items determines how the items as a whole are aligned within the container. So when there is only one line, align content has no effect. Okay, so we need to make use of align content pretty much, and then they have given the properties, that is flex start, flex end, space between, space around, and then stretch, and pretty much all the other properties. So let's make use of that. So the default properties which they have given is display of flex and then flex wrap of wrap. So we are going to make use of align content, and yeah, let's give flex end. Okay, they're not in the correct position. Center, yeah, I think it should be flex start. Yes, there you go. That is the correct property, that is align content of flex start. So that was it about the new property, that is align content. So now let's move on to the next level, that is level number 22, right? So yeah, let's go to that. So again, now the current has bunched the lily pads at the bottom. So use align items to guide the frogs there. Okay. So again, we need to use align content. So in the previous one, we just made use of flex start. So again, we can use a similar properties to align the frogs on the correct position, right? So for that, let us firstly access align content property. So let's do that. And then let's say flex start. Nope. Okay, it should be in the center. No. Let's give a flex end. Yes, flex end is working absolutely fine. So that is what is the property for the align content to make it to the correct position. Okay, so that was it about level number 22. So the remaining two levels, you guys can go and check it out. Okay, it's going to be pretty simple itself. So that was it about the Flexbox Froggy. So we went and explored about several levels, that is by doing different properties, that is flex direction, align items, align self, flex wrap, and then pretty much other different properties, and then we had solved and then we also solved different challenges so that we can become better with Flexbox. Hope you enjoyed this video. I think that's it for this video. Let's see you in the next video, and then thank you for watching.